is used must be addressed to the due diligence it deserves. And in that particular question, I have been looking at the legal framework that we have in this country. We have a body called the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, which does quite a bit of work in this country. But other than it, what it has done to prevent, detect, and maybe punish corruption, there's one area that I feel if they did something to enhance their preventive effect. And that's the question of auditing, auditing our budgets for corruption, to identify corruption before it happens. You'll find that the eacc is acting in terms of, because you have got the side of planning and the expenditure. There's a revenue side and there's the expenditure side. Now the revenue side is where money is planned for. And I would like to see our organs, our eacc, or if the eacc is not able, then we go back and revamp the anti-corruption, the economic crimes desk of the DCI, to be able to be looking at these budgets to ferret out corruption. Because you'll find that once a budget has been passed after public participation, the first thing you will see happening in county governments and even in the national government is this animal called supplementary budget, which is highly abused. They don't supplement for purposes of addressing emergencies or unforeseen circumstances as anticipated under Article 223 of the Constitution. They supplement to move money from development or from where it is difficult to steal to where it is easy to steal and hide. I would really plead that the eacc ups its game and goes further to interrogate, to audit budgets of county governments. Audit those budgets and let there be justifications for whatever changes they are doing. The law is very clear. You can only change a budget item or a budget by not more than 10%. In my county, I've got evidence that the budget was changed by 65%. What was that serving? If it's not to distort the will of the people and maybe to serve interests that are not above board. So, Mr. Speaker, my plea would be that the eacc, and maybe working together with the control of budget. The title control of budget must be control of budget, not an accounting officer who tells us that this money has been done, this or that. Let us audit budgets for effectiveness. Let there be a mechanism for auditing budgets to ensure that budgets are effective so that when they are implemented, the effects will be felt. You can have sometimes a budget that has got totally no effect, will be implemented 100% according to the way it is, but nothing will be gained. So if we reduce the question of auditing budgets to arithmetic, we may miss it. So it's my plea that this House, as we pass this important bill to send money down to the counties, consider that. The other aspect is the question of the autonomy of our finances. And I'm happy that Senator Wambua is here. At one time we had a discussion with Senator Wambua and he promised me he was going to bring a bill to this House for us to expunge the treasury, the national treasury from the national government. I don't know how far the bill for my brother has gone with that bill. Yes, please may you inform me.
So, Senator Omtata, would you like to be informed?
Yes, only by Senator Wambua.
Enoch Wambua.
Yes, by Senator Wambua.
Proceed, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is very true what Senator Omtata is saying, and I want to inform him that the process of drafting that bill has reached a very advanced stage. That I think now than ever before, the need to separate the National Treasury from the Ministry of Finance, that time is now, to ensure that then the division of revenue and the sharing of revenues between the two levels of government does not favor one side at the expense of the other side. So the drafting is at an advanced stage, and I hope that the Secretariat is hearing what I'm saying, Mr. Speaker, so that in the next few weeks we can debate that bill here. I thank you.
Senator omtata.
Thank you, my brother, Senator Wambua, for those encouraging words. I'm happy that the drafting of that bill is at an advanced stage. I hope the drafters will take serious cognizance of Section 11 and Section 12 of the Public Finance Management Act, which purpose to create a treasury as a ministry in the national government. I hope in that bill we shall seek to expunge or to revoke those particular sections, 11 and 12 of the Public Finance Management Act, so that we can restore control of public money back to the people of Kenya. Over and above that, I hope that a mirror image of that particular separation of finances at the national level from the executive will also take place at county government, so that every county government, the money is not placed in the hands of the governor. The money will be held by an independent civil servant. And for the governor or anybody to access that money, it must be in the budget, and the control of budget must have approved that expenditure. Let us take control of our money. Let us drain the swamp. And I'm happy my brother, Senator Wambua, has assured us that that work is ongoing. I'm happy to do that. Because if we don't do that, the money that goes to the ground is misappropriated. It's handled like money which belongs to an individual, and an individual will run around with it. We have seen the president running around non-stop, purporting to go around, do projects, whatever. If you go and check in the budget, those projects are not in the budget. It rubbishes the constitutional framework within which development in this country is supposed to be done. You have heard this common phrase that people keep on expressing, that we must be in government. We must be in government. That is not the design of democracy. The design of democracy is not that everybody should be on the government side. Democracy works on two legs: the opposition and the government, or the minority and the majority. We cannot all be in one side. That way the country cannot stand. The issue is we should distinguish between being in government and accessing development. There should be no correlation between being in government and accessing development. That should be something we must face very